I've got an insane XP farming glitch to show you guys today. So this one's new. This works after the patch, just like all those. This will probably get patched out at some point. Right now, it's November 9th, just about to be November 10th, based on midnight right now when I'm recording this. And there's a way that you can farm crazy XP. So let me show you the simplest way to do it. Ideally, if you're just in it for normal XP, you can get weapon XP like this too. But if you want to get just far on the rounds and get a bunch of augment research, stuff like that, then you're going to want to use the LR762, or you're going to want to use the dual-wielding GS45s because they both do explosive damage when you use Pack-a-Punch on them. But you could also use other guns and level up. It could just make this harder or easier depending on what gun it is. Definitely not easier. We could definitely make it harder. But still doable. It's not really God mode, but it's a, you know, you get all the enemies packed up in a little narrow strip, and you can just mow them down as they come in. So the thing you're going to need for this, you have to have, is Ether Shroud again, just like in some of the other videos I had. You're going to go to Augments and Research Augments, Field Upgrades, Ether Shroud. You got to have the Burst Dash, and ideally just put the extra charge on. The way I'm going to do this, it's not necessary, but it's nice to have a second one. It really helps a lot in some of this. And after that, you're good to go. Now, this particular XP glitch is going to be on Liberty Falls. So go ahead and pick that map. So we need to get Ether Shroud. So if you want to do this like an XP farm, or XP farming, go ahead and turn on the Rampage Inducer. If that's too much for you, you don't need it. But if you want to do it, you might as well do this like an XP farm. So we're just going to go ahead and get to the church now. And we're going to try to get Pack-a-Punch. And then I'm going to show you the new spot. A neat trick that'll get you there faster is you head over here on the map. And there's this thing in the window. Shoot it, and they'll give you 500 points. Not necessary, just speeds it up. Once you get to the church, there's another Easter egg and speed this up. You can take a cooked frag, throw it up at this thing up here, explode that, and then money will rain down and salvage will rain down from above. At the end of this, it'll also drop an Ether tool. The rarity of the Ether tool will be based on what wave you're on, but I'll just go ahead and get the green one from doing an early wave. Then go in the church, and then keep on farming these crystals for salvage and fighting waves until you get Pack-a-Punch on your gun. I also recommend going to the arsenal and getting napalm burst, because it's going to help a lot with the manglers, which are the only thing that are annoying. The abominations will not be able to attack us at all in this spot. If you're using an explosive weapon, I highly recommend getting the PhD flopper from right over here on the map, just so you don't commit suicide with the explosive damage. It's really going to be important for this if you're using one of these. Also, no matter what gun you're using, I highly recommend getting Juggernog, and if you have the augment, so that it makes, if you have the augment called Turtle Shell, that makes so you don't take damage in the back. It just does armor damage in the back if you get hit. You definitely want the Turtle Shell augment if you have it. If not, Juggernog is still very nice. If you have a gun that needs to reload often, then definitely get the Speed Cola as well before committing, before doing this spot. Once you have Pack-a-Punch at least, and then maybe whatever upgrades you want, you're ready. So go to on top of the bank, go over to this. Do not unlock this thing right here, okay? If you unlock it, you got to start over because this is the glitch. So what you can do is you can go up to it and turn your back to it. Make sure you get ammo if you need it ahead of time, okay? Go here, turn your back to it, walk backwards into it, and use the Ether Shroud, and it'll go right through it. Now, make sure you have the area right there unlocked. If you don't have the church unlocked with that barrier right there, then this might count as out of bounds. And if this counts as out of bounds, well, then you'll die up here. But as long as that's the case, then you can just sit up here. Now, for the spider round, it's not going to be so good. So let me go ahead and show you a zombie round so you can see just how crazy it is. So for a normal zombie wave, it's going to look something like this. They all have to come through this tiny little choke, and you can just shoot right here. Now, if your gun is strong enough for the wave, you can actually come up and just shoot right here. Oh, okay, this is where Turtle Shell comes in handy because I can't get hurt in the back. Anyway, you can just shoot right here then. So on the Juggernog augment, the Turtle Shell one, it makes it so you can just turn your back to them. And if things get really dicey, you can go here and just lay down and put armor plates in and reload. Just shoot the ground right here with an explosive weapon at least. And you can basically just be invincible, which the early waves, that won't matter as much. The later waves, if you want to go past wave 35 or so, that's like the only way that you can do it basically. Also about ammo, you don't throw ammo because you'll charge up your Ether Shroud faster than you use the ammo. And then what you can do is you just drop off the backside and come back up here, get the ammo from the ammo box, and then Ether Shroud back through this again. So ammo's unlimited. The enemies go through a little tiny choke. If you have Turtle Shell, you can just do this when they come in if you have to reload. And you're pretty much good to go. So what you'll do is you'll sit here and farm. Once you get enough money, you'll upgrade your weapon. Once you get enough money, you'll get the purple armor back there. As you get scrap, you'll get out of here. Oh, and I want to show you Abomination. So we'll see if this one's fucked up or not. But for the most part, if you go in the back like this, the Abominations will not be able to figure out how to get through. And and they'll just leave you back here. All right, as you can see, the abomination messes up, which is honestly the best part of this whole glitch, because when you do this spot normally, this is a spot that I've used in other videos when the gates open, but the problem with it is that the abominations come in and they just throw you off. So once abominations start coming in, it starts to get super annoying. But with this way, you can just sit here and farm this, and depending on your weapon, I mean, you can really just grind. It's a single file line. If you really want to go far, you're probably going to want to use the jet gun, just because you have unlimited ammo then, and you can just you do infinite damage to the weak ones. No matter how strong they get, you can just suck them up, basically. Also, be careful where you stand, because the abominations can get in depending on where you stand. If you go up here, there's a chance they'll get in, but if you hang out back here, it's better. Also, if you get right back here on this crack like this, then they pretty much get into a single file line. So on top of coming through single file right there, they also get to where only one can hit you at a time like this. So it's kind of a double whammy, a single file line followed by a single file line. It's kind of like the ideal spot to farm XP. Like if you're going to farm it anywhere, you're going to farm it here. You can see now that I'm almost out of ammo. So when you're out of ammo, you would literally just drop down and you would go back around and take a zip line back to the top of the bank. And as long as your gun's upgraded at all, you should be able to get enough for an Ether Shroud before having to do that. And you see, I actually have the full 2 charges, but that's also why it's good to have the 2 charges just in case. But you should be good to go. And you can just repeat the cycle. And you just do this until your gun gets to be too weak for whatever enemies you're fighting. And if you're really trying to go high waves, then you just use the jet gun and try to do that way, and then go as far as you can. But if you're just trying to farm XP, best bet is going to be either the LR762 or the, whatever that pistol was I said starts with the G. I always forget its name because it's just a bunch of numbers and letters. If you have that one with a Kimbo, its DPS is similar to this one. The LR is probably better, though, longer term if you're trying to go high wave. But no matter which gun you're using, between waves 25 and 40 are when you're going to want to just say screw it and just leave match, just because the time to kill gets so extreme. So if you're trying to farm XP with this glitch, yep, that's when you're going to want to quit, 25 to 40, just depending on the gun. Then you leave game, come back in, get prepped up at the church, and then just do it all again. And that's going to be, as far as I can tell, that's going to be the fastest way to farm XP in the entire game as of right now. This will probably get patched out, so you're going to want to use this while you still can. This was November 10th when this was last working when I made this video. And I don't know when it's going to be gone, so enjoy it while it's gone if you're into this kind of thing. All right, well, hopefully that helped you out, guys. Hopefully this made it simple for you to understand and everything. Now you know the most broken XP glitch currently in the game. Fastest way to farm XP for weapons, for prestige, for augments, everything you need. Fastest XP in the entire game right now in Call of Duty Black Ops 6.